Over the past decade, Roblox Gears have become pretty much useless for your avatar. Nowadays, the only purpose Gears serve for the most part is to embellish a user's avatar just to add a little spice to it. However, Roblox Gears have a pretty big yet unknown backstory to them. From simple gears used for sword fighting games to gears that can form a multi-dimensional rainbow black hole, here is the entire history of Roblox Gears from 2009 to the current year. So what even is a Roblox gear? A gear is an item that you can purchase on the catalog that you can wear with your avatar and possibly even bring into games that allow them. There are 9 different attributes: melee weapons, ranged weapons, explosives, power-ups, navigation enhancers, musical instruments, social items, building tools, and personal transport. The feature is almost completely useless nowadays because, as mentioned in the introduction, they're pretty much only used to embellish your avatar. I mean, think about it. When was the last time a Roblox game you joined allowed you to use the gears that you bought and owned? Anyway, it's important that we note that gears are the items you can buy from the shop, not the things in your toolbar in-game. If you consider gears to be toolbar items in-game, then you'd be delighted to know that gears technically did exist before their release date on the catalog. So just to clarify, I'll be talking about gears, the category in the shop, not the things in your toolbar. Now we'll truly begin. Gears began with an idea. Roblox thought it would be cool to, quote, sell items that had in-game effects. So on May 5th, 2009, the first ever Roblox gear would release for 100 Robux. A sword called Knight's Sword, uploaded by Telemon, that would be shortly re-uploaded by the Roblox account, being renamed to Brigand's Sword. After the first gears released, several more would be uploaded, those items being the Orc Blade, Bloxy Cola, and the board with a nail in it. Very creative for the 4th ever Roblox gear. Anyway, this 4-item pool would mark the very beginning of Roblox Gears as we know it, and this experimental feature would stick around for the next decade and a half. 3 days after the gears were released, Roblox would release a developer's journal or blog post called Gearing Up After a New Release. Here's an excerpt from that post.
Our last release was huge. We've been publishing release notes for the past 3 days. Here's some things that no one else pointed out that I'm sure you've noticed by now. Gear. We thought it would be cool to sell items that had in-game effects, and in this release you can see our first steps in that direction. You can buy gear on the catalog and equip it on the customized character page. At the moment you can only equip one item at a time. Gear can be weapons, soft drinks, wizard wands, pitchforks, cameras, suitcases, etc. More gear will be coming out over time.
Roblox was absolutely not lying when they said more would come out over time. A little over a year later, in July 2010, there were over 15 pages of Roblox gears. It's important to note there were also 20 gears per page, meaning Roblox uploaded over 300 gears in just 14 months, which is an average of 21 gears per month, which is just genuinely insane if you really think about it. This was Roblox in 2010, a site that, despite having over 8 million users, still looked like this. Anyway, 2010 had some pretty big advances when it came to gears on Roblox. Not only did over 300 gears release by the time the year was barely halfway over, there were cool new ideas that they came up with. For example, one of the big ones was skateboards, first debuting in May 2010. Not only was this released in an era in the world where there were a bunch of emo skaters, quote unquote, this was just genuinely a cool concept. I mean, skateboarding in Roblox. It was so advanced. As some of you may know, this would actually prompt a little skating scene in old Roblox. Groups were dedicated to skating, there were Roblox skating compilations and videos, and so much more. Skateboards, at least in my opinion, are one of the best gear series, probably being a close second to swords. Anyway, we're gonna flash forward 2 years in the future when the next big Roblox gear series came out. Though it was a little controversial at the time, Roblox released the Generals 45 on July 5th, 2012. This was, at the time, controversial for 2 reasons. First of all, it was a gun. Yes, there were a lot of games that utilized already created guns, which is pretty obvious, though Roblox did still have children who played the child-friendly games, so this was a pretty weird addition to see for that very small portion of the player base. However, gear was only purchasable if you were over 13 and it was locked otherwise. Not to mention, not many people really cared about it, as most people actually thought it was cool. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Later in the year, Roblox would end up releasing 5 more 13+ items. Those items being the Luger pistol, the M1 Grand, the Trench Warfare Shotgun, the Mauser 96, and the Sten Gun, all of which were very iconic gears that even today, despite them being released over 10 years ago, so I'm sure a lot of you recognize when you see or hear them. One more pretty interesting series that began in 2012 was the Roblox tablet series. This item was pretty much just a promotional item to announce Roblox releasing on the iPad. 20 of them would be released in November 2012 to December 2012, ranging from prices of 1 Robux to 1 million Robux. The 20 people who bought the tablet gear would actually receive iPads in real life, and they have the tablet gears actually named after them. This is why you may have seen gears like the Gamer 101's Roblox tablet and My Game 43's Roblox tablet. Every Roblox tablet is named after somebody. They all share the same function, prompting a mobile GUI when clicking, having you log in as Builderman, checking out the games page, then having a message on the screen letting you know that if you own this item, you'd be getting an iPad 3. It was honestly such a cool promotional event, and I'll definitely talk about the history of promotional items on Roblox in the future, especially if you guys want to see that. Going into 2013, only 2 more 13 plus items would ever be released again. Those items being the historic Timmy gun in May 2013 and Ruby Horde the Rapacious's treasure gear. The Timmy gun was just like the other pool of ranged items, just a normal gun that you held kind of weirdly. It was also pretty weak. The Ruby Horde gear was a little more interesting. It came out of a bundle that you didn't even need to be 13 to purchase. The gear made the player drop sparkling coins, though if another player tried to collect the coins, all of the gear in their toolbar would be completely removed. So it was basically a trap tool. You're probably thinking, how was this even a 13 plus item? And to be honest, I literally have no clue. Anyway, other than those 2 random 13 plus items, something way cooler was released on Roblox. On August 2nd, 2013, Roblox would release the first vehicle-like gear, the taxi. Yeah, transport gears did exist, like, skateboards like previously mentioned, but this taxi was actually really interesting. It wasn't necessarily groundbreaking, I mean, vehicles already existed in-game, but it was kind of cool to have. Pretty weird too. It was literally an entire taxi that you could spawn in any game that allowed you to spawn transport gears. It also counted as a melee attributed gear too, which is pretty funny, and I guess they did that because you could actually run into people and damage them. Anyway, this classic Roblox taxi would be one of the few vehicles ever released, and though it wasn't necessarily a notable gear release, I kind of felt like it was worthwhile mentioning it because the model is just so classic. Later in September of 2013, a gear considered to be the most overpowered item on Roblox was released. If you played Roblox back then, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. This item was the Hyper Laser Gun. The reason this item was criticized so much was because it shot a very fast blue laser with a pretty fast reloading time. The laser would literally one-shot people no matter what their health was, disintegrate them, killing them immediately. It also could shoot through the force field that you used to get when you spawned. It's pretty confusing as to how so many people complain about it though, because it was pretty inaccurate, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, by the time 2014 started, Roblox was entering the 5th year of Gears' existence, and this is where Gears really started to become mostly unused. Yeah, there would be some pretty cool Gears released though, like for example, the Rainbow Omega Peristron, or however you say it, overtook the Hyper Laser Gun's title of being extremely and the most overpowered weapon on Roblox. I won't even elaborate, instead I'll just show a video. Yeah, it was pretty insane. Anyway, in the past, since Gears was a new feature, many games would enable Gears in their places so people could use them. But at this point, it was seen more as a shop item that lets you customize your avatar, and that's pretty much it. The creation of Gears didn't really slow down, as even to this day, obviously Gears are still being made. However, Gears just aren't really being used. Games that have Gears in them pretty much just have them for game passes, because why script a cool little tool when there's thousands of already scripted pre-existing tools? That's why in these obby games, you'll see iconic Gears like the Rainbow Carpet, Hyper Laser Gun, or even the Body Swap Potion. Gears for a long time have been more of a feature created for game developers instead of users. I mean, let's be real. When you look for Gears, do you even look at their attributes? Do you even know what they do? Exactly. Gears are just bought for their appearance nowadays, which to be honest, I'm not really complaining about. The truth is, Gears are still created, but they're basically just for developers. Gears create the opportunity for game passes, weapons to be used in-game, and whatever other development-related reason you can think of. And while gear creation has slowly been decreasing, Gears are pretty much the only thing on the catalog that only staff members can create. And it's only a matter of time before UGC developers get access to creating them. And with that being said, my name is Vanilla Bean, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out, everybody.